Bicyclia's kick is up. It's good.
What a catch! Eddie Brown! Touchdown Edmonton! And Mike Pringle, he's the all-time leading CFL rushing leader.
Tucker! He got it! Touchdown!
Gabriel is open in the end zone. Touchdown!
And your coaches for this game: on the left, Pepper Rogers, 62 years old, 22 years in college coaching, the National Coach of the Year twice. And on the right, Wally Buono, 46 years old, a 73-28-1 record, has the greatest winning percentage in Stampeders history. And since 1990, no other coach has more regular season wins. Wally Buono has 65. And the Memphis Mad Dogs have won the toss. They will be receiving the football. And there you see Mark McLaughlin getting ready to kick the ball off, and a beautiful day here in Calgary. Dan Kepley to open up the Canadian Football League season.
The Calgary Stampeders are bringing into this game a 23-game regular season home winning schedule, and hopefully they would like to see it continue.
And from the 25-yard line, plenty of room on the right side. Big opening. And finally, Memphis goes down at the 32-yard line. Adrian Smith running the kick back, and he gets down inside Calgary territory.
Fumbles the ball, and that throws out the coverage just a little bit as they both come downtown. Then all of a sudden he sees an opening, and Adrian Smith showed a incredible amount of speed as he was able to burst through the hole. Greg Knox was able to fend off the receivers, and there's McLaughlin, and Greg Knox was the guy to make the last tackle.
Damon Allen, your quarterback, handing off on first down. It's Gary Anderson. Gets down to the 20-yard line, make it the 21. And take a look at your starting lineups for this Memphis Mad Dogs team. Wide receiver Joe Horn, slot back Gary Morris, Damon Allen, your quarterback, who came over from Edmonton, Perkins, Anderson, Brown, and McKay. Brings up second down and 1, 9-yard gain on the last play. Here's Allen straight ahead, and he should pick up the first down. Remember, in the Canadian Football League, Danny, the defense has to line up 1 yard off the line of scrimmage.
That's exactly right. Now that good offensive surge got out, and Damon Allen was able to jump right behind Vance Hammond. And Hammond is no little guy at all, 6'6", 295, bringing out the chains.
And Damon Allen signed as a free agent with this Memphis Mad Dogs team, and he's a pretty good one. Played in Edmonton twice, was the most valuable player of the Grey Cup as recently as 1993.
1993 was it? 1987 also, when Edmonton, and he led them to the Grey Cup championships. And also, as you said, MVP in both of those contests.
Here's your offensive line: Perez, Boyd, Hammond, Wallow, Brown. Only one player on the offensive line with CFL experience. Here's Allen throwing to the far near side, and it's incomplete. Gary Morris, the intended receiver, will bring up second down and 10 from the 19.
Probably a throw that Damon Allen would like to have back. He had plenty of time. He just seemed to rush a little bit, and Gary Morris was wide open running down the near sideline.
Damon Allen, 6 feet, 170 pounds, 11th season in the Canadian Football League. And if the face looks familiar, if the name sounds familiar, yes, he is the younger brother of Marcus Allen, who now plays with the Kansas City Chiefs. Second and 10, Allen to the far side, incomplete, intended for Gary Anderson. Al Jordan defensively for Calgary, and that will force a third down situation. Defensively for Calgary, Medlock, Stu Laird, the fireman, played in more games in a Stampeders uniform than any other player, along with Kenny Walker, Will Johnson, Marvin Pope, Matt Finley, who's been moved to inside linebacker, and Alondra Johnson, who led this team in tackles last year with 77.
That's a big change right there defensively for them. And in their backfield, they lost 2 cornerbacks in Junior Thurman and Douglas Kraft. Marvin Coleman comes in, and Kim Phillips comes over to play the corner from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
So Chris Gardner with the ball spotted at the 21-yard line, 27-yard field goal attempt. And the kick is wide to the right, but he kicks it out of the end zone. And that will serve as the first point of the game, a single. And maybe you want to explain some of the different rules here in the Canadian Football League as opposed to the NFL, which most of the fans out here are used to watching.
Gus, it's pretty simple. On a missed field goal, the return team has the option to bring it out of the end zone, and if they bring it out of the end zone, wherever that receiver is tackled, that is where they scrimmage the ball from. In this case, the ball was kicked through the end zone. It is called, in terminology, a rouge, or a single point, and then now Memphis Mad Dogs have 1 point, and Calgary will scrimmage from the 35-yard line.
So on first down, Doug Flutie rolls out of the pocket, sets himself, fires to the far side, and has it complete. That's Pee Wee Smith with the reception. He was third on this team in catches last year. 12-yard gain, first down. For Calgary, your lineup, Pee Wee Smith and Alan Pitts. Pitts, the all-time leading receiver here for the Calgary Stampeders. Doug Flutie, we'll be talking about him a little bit later on. Daniel Stewart, Davidson Punges back after playing only 12 games last year, and Terry Vaughn. First down and 10 from the 47. Here's Tony Stewart, who rushed for over 1,000 yards last year. Gets to the 50, up to possibly the 53-yard line before being stopped. Gain of 5.
So many things that Doug Flutie makes you aware of as he's going to sprint out. He gets that defensive team running wide, trying to contain him, and then all of a sudden they're going to run the counter stuff back inside against the flow. Here's a good look at the offensive line. The big guys up front, Covington, Chronopoulos, Crysdale, Pandelitas, and Romano. They're the guys that get the job done to protect Doug Flutie.
Offensive line gave up only 13 sacks last year, which was the lowest amount in the Canadian Football League. Here's Flutie, scrambling. Flutie cuts it across field, finally ducks under inside the Memphis 50-yard line. Gain of 9, and Doug Flutie already showing his ability to run at 100 yards rushing in their last preseason game, a win over Edmonton.
He certainly does. Doug, I don't think he doesn't want to run, but that is a great weapon that he can. He really does challenges the defense, and you have to be aware of where he is all the time. You can't take a good shot at him. You're not going to take his head off. What you're going to have to do is to break down and just hopefully grab a piece of cloth, and then you can get him down on the ground.
And Flutie picks up the first down from the 49. Firing underneath, incomplete. Intended for Vince Danielson. Ed Berry on the coverage. And when you look at this Memphis team, Danny, they're an expansion team, but especially defensively, they've got some pretty solid veteran ball players.
This is an incredibly veteran defensive team right now. Their front seven, led by Cofield and Rodney Harding. Everybody in the secondary has some experience. Greg Battle in the middle of the thing is the key. He is the guy, hopefully, is going to be the glue that puts this Memphis defense together.
And we get a whistle. Flags on the play. Looks like it will be offsides against Memphis. Doug Flutie changing up his cadence at the line of scrimmage. Your officials today, referee Bud Steen, your umpire Bill Wright.
Offside, Memphis number 52 and 98. Second down repeated.
So the penalty goes against Memphis, and they'll march it 5 yards down the field. Makes it 2nd and 5 for Flutie from the 44-yard line.
5 receiver pack. Stewart is the only back in the backfield.
Flutie underneath the Stewart has a little room. Tries to get downfield, but is knocked backwards. They should spot the ball at the 40 or 39-yard line. Greg Battle with the tackle.
And you just can't say enough about Greg Battle. He came over from the Ottawa Rough Riders in a sense that last year he was with the expansion team Las Vegas Posse, but prior to that he was with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and during his course at the Winnipeg team he was voted this league's MVP as outstanding defensive player twice so far in his career.
Greg Battle in his 9th season out of Arizona State picks up his first tackle of the game. First down and 10 though for the Stampeders at the Mad Dogs 38. And here's Flutie out of the pocket, firing underneath, complete. Pee Wee Smith with the reception, tackled by Richard Holt. Defensively for Memphis, and in their secondary, a very good group here. They haven't played together, obviously, but a lot of years of experience.
Great experience, as you said. Don Odegaard coming over from Hamilton, being the key in the middle, but all of those people have CFL experience. Some have Damian Lyons 4 years, Junior Robinson 3 years. The rest of them just have to mesh together.
Second down and 3. They stay on the ground. This is Tony Stewart. And he gets the first down for Calgary. Tony Stewart, what a year he had last year. Rushed for over 1,000 yards. Became the first 1,000-yard rusher since 1986 for the Stampeders. And he was second in the league with touchdowns, 19. And he is definitely a piece to this Calgary puzzle that fits nicely for Wally Buono.
Just like you said, he rushed it for 208 times for 1,120 yards. It's a great balance between rushing and throwing the ball.
To the near side, this is Terry Vaughn, the new receiver on this team. He spins, gets inside the 15, make it the 12. Don Smith with the tackle, and Terry Vaughn, 5'8", 183-pound first-year player out of Arizona, replaces 2 very good receivers.
Big receivers that had left, Brian Wiggins and Will Moore. Brian Wiggins going to the Carolina Panthers, Will Moore to the New England Patriots, and also Travis Moore goes to the New Orleans Saints. Those are big receivers to have to replace. Terry Vaughn has stepped in and done a tremendous job through the course of the preseason, and hopefully for the Calgary Stampeders' sake, they're hoping for the 95 season.
Flutie towards the end zone. Alan Pitts with the reception inside the 5, gain of 12. And Doug Flutie on his first drive of the game, moving this Stamps club right down the field, almost as if, you know, he's never missed a beat. There must have been no offseason for this guy.
He certainly has. You can get a look here at Alan Pitts coming down, working the zone, turns Ed Berry around, and as soon as he makes the cut, the ball is thrown on the money. Alan Pitt is just an incredible story in his own right. Last year, broke the CFL record, a one that he had set in 1991 of 118 catches. He caught 126 passes last year, 21 touchdowns.
7 minutes, 14 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. Your score, Memphis Mad Dogs, the expansion team, on top of the Calgary Stampeders 1-0, but right now Calgary knocking on the door.
So, you know, but to the credit, the Memphis Mad Dogs are making them work for it. It hasn't been easy.
They send 3 receivers to the far side of the field. Play action. Flutie out of the pocket, throws incomplete. Intended for Alan Pitts. And Doug Flutie not happy about that throw. He let him a little bit too much.
That comes in. He fakes the handoff inside to Tony Stewart. He's going to come out on the naked bootleg all by himself, but he's not going to go anywhere. You got 58. Alex Gordon does an excellent job getting upfield, pursues, forces Doug Flutie to have to pull the ball down, and probably throws it a little bit before he wants to.
Doug Flutie, who is most remembered for his heroics in 1984 when he led the Boston College Eagles over Miami on the famous Hail Mary pass to Gerard Phelan, and he throws a touchdown here to his favorite receiver, David Sapunjas, and Calgary gets on the board, their first touchdown of the year, 6-1. They lead the Memphis Mad Dogs.
Doug Flutie doing the kind of offense that he has designed, along with the offensive coordinator, John Huffnagel, a famed guy out of Penn State. They work extremely close together. But look at this. Doug Flutie sitting back, looking. He's got 5 receivers to pick from. Nobody comes around him. And right until the last minute, you give time enough for him to work. And when he does, a guy like Dave Sapunjas, a slot back, goes down there, finds the open area. And Doug Flutie makes no mistake on putting it in the money.
And here's Mark McLaughlin for the convert, and he nails it. And your score, 7-1 with 6 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play, and we'll have more of the first quarter after this. Seven to 1 your score. It's not a baseball game. It's the Canadian Football League here on ESPN2. I'm Gus Johnson along with Danny Kepley, and Calgary really impressive on their first drive, Dan.
They certainly have. This is kind of the scoring drive that you had, and it's typical of Doug Flutie and the Calgary offense. 10 plays, 75 yards, and they ate up a lot of time. Doug Flutie having that time to throw the touchdown to Dave Sapunjas.
As you take a look at Flutie, who last year set a CFL record throwing 48 touchdowns during the regular season. And we talked to him earlier, Danny, and he talked about every year getting better at something, trying to improve his game.
That was the thing I wanted to ask. I said, does Doug Flutie get better, or can you get better? And he says, yeah, he really does want to get better. And the one thing that he's really concentrating on this year is trying to get his interceptions down. and he wants to read a little bit better. So therefore, these are some goals that even a great player like Doug Flutie is trying to acquire.
Right now, Memphis also with a great player, Damon Allen. They're trying to get the ball downfield. Here's Allen passing on first down, has it complete to Gary Morris, and he's tackled at midfield. Greg Knox with the stop, gain of 6. And this Memphis team went 1-1 in the preseason. They lost 35-14 to San Antonio and won 28-21 to Ottawa.
Damon Allen does an excellent job this time. The halfback blitz is coming by Kenton Leonard. He reads it extremely well. Good quick release. And Morris is the guy on the quick out, picks the ball up and picks up a good 7 yards.
2nd and 4 from the 55, straight up the middle. Here's Anderson trying to break it outside, and he's finally tripped up at the 37-yard line. Gary Anderson, gain of 18, and here's a guy talking about experience, not CFL experience, but definitely the USFL as well as the NFL. Played 8 years in the National Football League.
He's got it all, and he knows exactly how to carry the mail. Look how he cuts back across the green. That big offensive line up front, Boyd, Hammond, and Perez on that side do an excellent job. And you don't have to tell or show Gary Anderson how to find a hole.
Here's Allen to the near side, complete to Joe Horn. And Damon Allen working his team downfield. Horn tackled by Marvin Coleman at the 24-yard line, gain of 12.
Offensive line of Memphis is doing an excellent job right now. Quick hitch pass, trying to slow that defense up a little bit. Damon Allen is getting some time, and he's also being very patient with his play selection.
Joe Horn out of Ottawamba Junior College in Mississippi, discovered in a tryout camp. And here's Anderson picking up positive yardage. Gary Anderson, 34 years old, came into camp, though, in unbelievable shape.
That's the thing. I looked at the coach today. I said, Coach, he's 34 years old, and he's going to play in your backfield. He said, there was nobody that could do it better than him, and this guy knows how to carry the mail. 3 times in his career, he has rushed for over 1,000 yards. Twice with the New Jersey Bandits, and 1 time in '88 with the San Diego Chargers. So he's been able to carry the mail a lot and get production.
Picks up 6 rather, 2nd down and 4. Anderson out of the backfield, had the ball in his hands, maybe thought about running before catching, and he drops the football.
Gus, it just goes to show you right there. It doesn't matter how old you are, how many years you played, how many times you carried the ball. You've got to do the basic things right. Take a look at it, watch the ball in, catch the ball first, then turn it up the field.
26-yard field goal attempt here by Chris Gardner. Rookie out of Mississippi State, and the 26-yarder is good. Gardner now 1 for 2 on the day, and his 26-yarder makes it a 7-4 ball game with 3 minutes and 26 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
This is the thing that really did impress me about this Memphis team, is that they've got some guys on there that just love to play the suicide squad. Get in there, they love to chase down people and make good solid tackles once they get there.
As you take another look at Pepper Rogers, and not only has he coached some very good players, but he's also had some very good coaches under his wing. Steve Spurrier, Terry Donahue, John Cooper, who's now at Ohio State, some very, very successful college football coaches. And here's Tony Stewart running off tackle, and he's stopped by Tim Cofield.
Nothing too fancy about that. Just straight man on man. Give it deep to Tony Stewart and let him find a hole. They call it the search series. Hurry up offense by Doug Flutie.
Gain of 5. Here's Flutie. Incomplete, intended for David Sapunjas, but Bobby Dawson right on his heels.
Bobby Dawson playing an outside linebacker. He's 6 foot 200 pounds out of Illinois. But that is the kind of thing that is happening in this league right now. Outside linebackers, true sight, are getting obsolete in the sense that they are going to become big, oversized defensive back. Doug Flutie, you can see the expression on his face. Just knew that he had Dave Sapunjas wide open, and that was one he'd like to have back.
Tony Martino standing at the 27-yard line. High snap. This one off the side of his foot again. and finally picked up by Don Smith. 25-yard punt by Tony Martino, and that is the end of the first quarter of play, with the Calgary Stampeders leading 7-4.
Welcome back to McMahon Stadium, where the Stamps are ahead 7-4. Let's go to school, everybody. This is what is called the no yards. In a sense, there are no fair catches in the CFL, so the Calgary team, who are the coverage team, has to give 5 yards for the receiving team to catch the ball, and then he makes the catch and has to pursue with the ball.
First down for Allen to the far side, complete to Horn at the 52-yard line. Finally ridden out of bounds by Jason Medlock. Damon Allen now 3 of 8 on the day. Picks up 10 more yards there.
This is a little more characteristic of Damon Allen. Being a little more patient, take exactly what this defense is prepared to give him. Last series, he went downtown 2 times in a row. This Calgary defense is too well educated to give up big plays. You're going to have to nickel and dime him.
Allen threw for 3,554 yards last year, and he keeps it on the ground this time. Gary Anderson tripped up in the backfield, struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage. Will Johnson with the stop.
Inside trap play, and what they want to do is give the ball to Gary Anderson here. Gives it deep, lets him get behind it, but Will Johnson's going to have nothing to do with this. Good penetration, is able to get a hand on the ankle of Gary Anderson.
Picks up 3, second down and 7 from the 51. Over the middle, it's complete. Here's Gary Morris. Morris, heck of a job hanging on to the football. He's finally taken down by Al Jordan.
When the heat comes, the blitz comes from the Calgary Stampeders. Damon Allen Reed is hot. Go inside to the slot back very quickly. And as he found Gary Morris that time, Morris did an excellent job of holding on to the ball and then continuing with his balance and fighting for the first down. And they're measuring right now.
Gary Morris, first-year player out of Norfolk State University. He was an all-CIAA player at Norfolk State, and he came over from Hamilton in 1994. Had 3 receptions, 21 yards during that time, and he gained 8. About a yard short of the first down. Will bring up 3rd down and 1. And in the CFL, unlike in the National Football League, 3rd downs in short yardage situations are good times to go for.
They really do. Being that the rule is that defensive line has got to stay and line up 1 yard off of the line of scrimmage, that really gives a good opportunity for the offensive team to get a surge. Damon Allen just to get behind Vance Hammond, Tracy Boyd, and Rob Waller up there and fake the quarterback sneak.
And Allen goes straight ahead.
It's going to be close, Gus.
His forward progress should give him the first down.
That offensive line, the 3 guys that I just mentioned prior to that play starting, did not get a good surge off, but on the other side, Stu Laird, Kenny Walker, and Jason Medlock really did a good job.
Marvin Pope finishing up the tackle, and they bring out the chains. And you talk about the linebacking core for this Calgary Stampeders ball club, Danny, and they've got 3 very quality veteran linebackers, and they did some switching around this year.
They really did. What they did, they took Matt Finley, who was an outside linebacker. Let's take another good look. You can see the good leg power of Damon Allen, and he marks the spot, and he got an excellent marking where his forward progress took place that gave him the first down. But getting back to that linebacking core, they moved Matt Finley from the outside to the inside, and Marvin Pope to the outside, and I'll tell you why after this play.
Flags everywhere. Looks like it may have been some movement on the offensive line for Memphis.
Illegal procedure. 61 Memphis, 1st and 15.
That's Vance Hammond, the center.
Vance, he's the guy that ought to know when the ball's going to be snapped. He just figured he may want to get a little head start and get the ball to Damon Allen a little quicker.
So they march it back 5 yards. First down and 15 from the 47-yard line.
As you can see, that ball came up. Damon Allen wasn't anywhere close to it. And then Vance thought, well, I'll bring it back down. We can start all over again.
Draw play. Here's Perkins, and Perkins Wrapped up at the 45. That didn't fool too many people. Will Johnson in on the tackle.
Will Johnson, number 81.
Along with Matt Finley. Findog is what they call him. And Matt Finley, his 9th year, 65 tackles last season, 3 sacks, moved from right outside linebacker to the middle linebacker. And what are the differences for him now after playing outside linebacker for so long?
Right now, it makes his job possibly a little easier as far as coverage is concerned. But more importantly, with Marvin Pope on the outside, it allows Calgary's defense to do some more things creative that they would like to do as far as rushing him, because Marvin Big Daddy Pope stands at 6'1",
violation, number 9, Memphis. Second down repeated.
Stands at 6'2", about 245, and he can do, and he's a load when he comes through there. So they like to rush him, but he has got the great athletic ability that he can also cover one-on-one. So it allows him to do a lot of extra things with Big Daddy Marvin Pope on the outside.
And as an expansion team, you're going to have some problems early on, especially on the penalty side, trying to get players to mesh. And Pepper Rogers, he is seeing that right now. Another penalty, and it brings up 2nd and 18 for the Dogs.
Only 20 seconds in between plays to get it off.
Here's Allen going up top, and it's complete. Joe Horn into the end zone. Touchdown, Memphis. No flags on the play.
Touchdown pass to number 17, Joe Horn.
Joe Horn, who was discovered at a tryout camp out of Itawamba Junior College in Mississippi, a rookie, scores a touchdown, 50-yard touchdown pass, the first. That will be a trivia question for you. Who scored the first touchdown in Memphis Mad Dogs history? Well, it's going to go down to be Joe Horn. This Memphis team is now pulling a little bit closer. They lead it 10-7.
Give some credit to the big boys up front. Stu Laird finds a seam and comes in there, but it looks like a blown coverage in the secondary, where the safety, Greg Knox, was supposed to get over and cover that deep third. He was slow getting there. Joe Horn made no mistake once the ball was thrown in the air, looked it in, made a couple of fancy moves, and got it into the end zone for 6.
And it is good.
Joe Horn scores a touchdown. It's an 11-7 game, and Damon Allen throws his first touchdown pass of the season, and his team's on top, 11-7.
A 34-yard field goal.
For Calgary, Mark McLaughlin in to attempt a 34-yard field goal. Doug Flutie holding. And it's good. McLaughlin scored 199 points last year and set a record for converts with 80. And he converted on 84% of his field goals last season. 37-44, starts off well here.
I tell you what, you can set records at kicking 80 converts when his team scores 84 touchdowns, as Calgary and Doug Flutie did with that offense last year. Just getting back to that quick thing again with Greg Battle, number 35, it is an objectionable conduct, and I think at that point, if there was going to be a disqualification, they would have mentioned it at that time. So I think they're going to call it incidental contact in some cases and allow Greg Battle to continue playing.
And here's Memphis. Good-looking return by Al Shipman. 38-yard return by the rookie out of Miami. 66-yard kick. And Memphis will start with quality field position.
Memphis special teams coached by Brett Williams, who's a defensive specialist up in this league for a lot of years. The Toaster was his nickname. He's doing an excellent job. And by the way, the Toaster says hello to his wife back home, Deanna. And he said that may score some brownie points for him.
First and 10 from the 44. To the far side, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Eddie Brown. Now that's the second pass he's dropped today.
You take a look, there's Brett Williams on the sideline there.
Is incomplete.
He gets pretty intense. I tell you what, he's still got a lot of playing blood in him.
Why'd they call him the Toaster?
I don't know. We never got really close enough to ask him questions like that.
Okay.
If he wants to be called the Toaster, you leave him alone. Let him call himself the Toaster.
You've got it. Second and 10 from the 44. Eddie Brown having problems holding on to the ball. Here's Allen. Again to the far side. Broken up nicely at the last moment by Marvin Coleman, but there is a flag on the play.
Now, Coleman made a good move on break on the ball, and this could be even offensive pass interference back on Eddie Brown, who came back and grabbed Marvin Coleman. But we'll wait to hear the call. Now, I really think back to the toaster story just quickly. I think that the reason that he took the toaster was the fridge was already taken. Now, that's the truth. That makes it sound kind of silly, but I think William Perry already had the fridge covered.
Deliberate forward pass interference, Calgary, spot foul, it's first down.
So pass interference against Marvin Coleman. A little questionable. It looks like Coleman was going for the ball, but nevertheless, they call it against him. First down and 10 now from the 52. Here's Allen in trouble. Damon Allen goes down. Jason Medlock with the tackle.
Jason Medlock, 6'3", 230 out of UNLV, is a great find that came over from the Las Vegas Posse in the expansion draft. This is the kind of thing. Good pressure by Will Johnson on the outside forces Damon Allen inside. And Jason Medlock with 4.6 speed made no mistake about that tackle.
Medlock played linebacker at UNLV at 137 tackles his senior year as he became the MVP for the Running Rebels. And here's Allen getting it off, and he gets crunched after releasing the football. Pops back on his feet. Gary Morris, the intended receiver.
It's third down.
And Damon Allen just got punished after he let that football go.
Their nickelback comes in. That's Al Jordan, who was picked up in the dispersal draft also by Las Vegas. Makes absolutely no mistake about getting his helmet right up in the face and chest to Damon Allen and makes him pay the price.
Peter Gardier, the former University of Texas starting quarterback, sending it away. Here's Marvin Coleman at the 11. Coleman finds a seam up the middle, gets up to the 26-yard line before being stopped. 15-yard return, 44-yard punt.
Gus, last year against the BC Lions, Coleman set a CFL record with 181 yards in punt returns. He is just incredible. Just a little stats on this guy when he was in school at Ohio Central. 4 times NAIA All-American, 2 times Kodak All-American, 3-time Black College Sports Reporters All-American. This guy had a whole wall full of plaques.
Marvin Coleman played for Billy Joe at Central State. And Tony Stewart gets tripped up. As you take a look at Coleman again, played for Billy Joe. As I told you at Central State, Billy Joe now at Florida A&M, and there they won a number of national championships at the NAIA level, 2 as a matter of fact, and on that team as well, Big Daddy, as they call him, Marvin Pope.
Well, with Junior Thurman leaving the Calgary Stampeders, he got his call and his shot to be the starting corner, and he's doing an excellent job. Junior Thurman going as a free agent to the Birmingham Barracudas.
And it looks like another penalty, offsides, possibly against Memphis. Penalties now starting to mount against the Mad Dog.
Offside, 92 Memphis, second down repeated.
That's Stephen Bates, 4th-year player out of James Madison. And Pepper Rogers not necessarily happy with all the penalties that his team is getting right now. They stay on the ground. Tony Stewart again, and he goes down. Alex Gordon with the tackle. And speaking of experience, Alex Gordon, 9 years he played in the NFL, 3 years with Cincinnati, 3 years with the New York Jets, and he also played with the Los Angeles Raiders. Has 222 NFL tackles and 12 sacks. That's a long career.
A great career, and the way he got up the ball right there, he could really close the hole and did an excellent job.
3:04 remaining in the second quarter, and we're all knotted up at 11. Barry was a 7th-round selection by the Green Bay Packers in 1987. And his defensive efforts very good there, and that brings on the kicking unit, the field goal unit for Calgary. Here's Mark McLaughlin attempting a 47-yard field goal. He's 1 of 1 on the day. And he nails it. Mark McLaughlin, 47-yard field goal. Wally Brano can be pleased with his kicker's efforts so far. That's because the Calgary Stampeders have taken a 14-11 lead with 1:39 remaining in the second quarter.
Good look at Mark McLaughlin, the all-time leading scorer for the Calgary Stampeders. Hails from Liverpool, England.
McLaughlin out of Kent State. Your score 14-11, a minute 39 remaining in the first half. And looking at the first half, I think that as Pepper Rogers and his team heads into the locker room, this is something that they can be proud of, especially if they don't give up any more points.
It's a very positive thing, even in the fact if they were to give up another field goal or possibly even a touchdown. I don't think the way their defense is playing that they will, but in this case, they have played a very good, solid football, half of football, for their first league game in the CFL.
Quality run for Gary Anderson, gets to the 45, but what has hurt this Memphis team in the first half is penalties, 5 for 30 yards. And that's given Calgary a shorter field to work with and resulted in points for them. Calgary, 2 penalties, only 19 yards, and that's to be expected, though with a young expansion team like this.
Absolutely. These are young guys that are out there. They're aggressive. They're trying to get after something. They want to make something happen, and sometimes the penalties are going to happen.
Allen finds Horn at the 50. Horn eludes 2 defenders and finally gets out of bounds in Calgary territory, make it the 52-yard line. Joe Horn, nice reception there, gain of 12.
6'1" at 188. And I tell you what, I'm impressed with the way he catches the ball and what he does after the ball. Comes back, just a little hitch, the ball's thrown on time, looks the ball in, makes a couple of moves, keeps his feet moving, breaks a couple of tackles, changes the ball over, and picks up the first down. This is excellent. This is that possession type of drive that Damon Allen and Memphis need to do to keep Doug Flutie off the field.
Here's Anderson hitting outside. Anderson lowers his shoulder and is ridden out of bounds by Phillips. Gain of 8 yards. Gary Anderson wearing number 34, his age, and man, he looks sharp.
Look good. Nickname the Hound. Can you believe, and I think he had the nickname the Hound way before the Memphis Mad Dogs. But that's a great logo, and it's a great back. And if it can continue and this guy can stay healthy, it could be a Cinderella story for the Memphis Mad Dogs this year.
He sat out 94 after spending 93 with the Detroit Lions in spot duty. And here's Anderson again. Anderson gets close to the 40. They'll mark it at the 42. A minute remaining in the first half. In the Canadian Football League, teams are allowed only 1 timeout per half as they bring on the chains for a measurement. And you see Memphis, they're a little bit short here, but Memphis, or rather they pick up the first down, and Memphis utilizing the running game, and that's something that another expansion team last year did.
They really did, in both cases, whether it was Baltimore that came in with Pringle, and he broke the all-time CFL rushing record, and he rushed for over 1,900 yards. This is great positive stuff for this offense, the offensive line, being able to pick up first down and run the ball.
Eddie Brown working on Marvin Coleman, and this is incomplete. Good defense by Coleman. Bring up 2nd and 10.
Damon Allen in this offense trying to lull Calgary to sleep a little bit. Gets to hitch and go, pump fake, and then airs it out and let the speed of downtown Eddie Brown run under it. Marvin Coleman does an excellent job. Good positioning.
2nd and 10 from the 42. 46 seconds remaining in the first half as you take a look at Wally Buono. 72.2 winning percentage in the 90s. This one over the middle, incomplete. Gary Morris, the intended receiver.
It's one of the times when you can see Allen just forced that pass in there a little quicker than he wanted to, released it on a quick trigger. Morris was wide open. All he had to do was take another split second. He just wanted to beat the linebacker from getting there, threw the ball behind Morris.
So this will be a 49-yard field goal attempt by Chris Gardner. Set the Mississippi State single-season record. Field goals attempted with 27 and field goals made with 15 last year.
If this is missed for any reason, look for Marvin Coleman to bring it out.
But it's not, and he's not going to get that chance. Chris Gardner drills the 49-yarder. And with 38 seconds remaining in the first half, it's all tied up at 14. Pepper Rogers has to be pleased with what his team has done in the first half, and the people in Memphis have to be pleased with this team. They're facing one of the best teams in the Canadian Football League, if not the best.
Well, every year at this time when people go in and you talk to people that you think are in the know of the Canadian Football League, you say, who's the favorite to win the Grey Cup this year? The first and foremost pick, in most cases, is the Calgary Stampeders. So far for 30 minutes, Memphis Mad Dogs has given Doug Flutie and the Calgary Stampeders all they can handle.
Complete to Allen Pitts, and Junior Robinson makes the tackle, gain of 7. 34 seconds remaining, and that's something that fans unaccustomed to watching the Canadian Football League should pay attention to. 34 seconds in the CFL is a lot of time.
It really is. The clock is stopped after every play.
So that brings up 2nd down and 1 from the 44. They go on the ground. Here's Stewart. He picks up the first down.
Number 21, Tony Stewart.
Richard Holt there on the tackle.
That's just to finish my thought last time. The clock is stopped after every play, allows everybody to get up. Then the ball is marked. The referee then at that time blows the clock in. So you do have a long time in 34 seconds.
Flutie out of the shotgun, firing. Flutie intended for Pitts, and he couldn't stretch out to come up with the catch. Good defense there by Junior Robinson. 2nd down and 10 from the 49.
Junior Robinson, his 3rd year out of East Carolina, my old alma mater right there. Last year played with the Sacramento Gold Miners, which are now the San Antonio Texans.
2nd and long for Doug Flutie. To Pitts, and he has a first down, and he gets inside the 45 at the 42. 17-yard catch for Allen Pitts. And there's 14 seconds left on the clock. So as we told you, this drive began with 34 seconds remaining, and look where they are now as Doug Flutie calls the first and only time out of the half.
Good look at Doug Flutie talking Coach Wally Buono on the left. The one on the right chewing the gum. That's John Huffnagel, as I said, the offensive coordinator who hailed out of Penn State. Great player, great quarterback in his own right in this league.
1st and 10 from the 42. Flutie to the near side. Pee Wee Smith shakes a man off, shakes another off, and gets inside the 30 to the 28. Nice run by Pee Wee Smith. Gain of 12. And Smith, another one of those products out of the University of Miami. Drafted in both football and baseball. 14th round draft pick for the Toronto Blue Jays. Here's Flutie again to Pitts, and he goes and climbs up the ladder to make the catch and gets out of bounds at the 22.
Good play, gets out of bounds, stops the clock. Mark McLaughlin, the field goal kicker, comes on, and you can just see in what a short period of time how quickly Doug Flutie in this offense can pick up some ground and move this ball down the field and get him in a position for 3 points.
That brings in Mark McLaughlin to attempt a 29-yard field goal. He's been perfect on the day, 2 of 2. And he'll head into to the locker room remaining perfect. McLaughlin nails a 29-yarder, and that is the end of the first half of play, with the Calgary Stampeders taking the lead 17-14 over the expansion Memphis Mad Dogs.
Hard-fought battle, Gus. And I tell you what, this Memphis team will be very excited. It'll be a positive, uplifting halftime for the Memphis Mad Dogs.
Doug Flutie, 14 of 23, 119 yards and 1 touchdown. That going to David Sapunjas, a 3-yard touchdown pass in the first half of play. And as Dan, you talked about during the pregame, Flutie hasn't had a lot of chances to study this Memphis team because this is their first game, but he's a very good quarterback in terms of making halftime adjustments. We saw that all last year, and we look to see a different Doug Flutie in this second half, especially maybe a little more aggressive by Flutie as he gets ready to go on offense to begin the second half of play here. And the kick goes to Pee Wee Smith at the 5. Smith up the middle, has running room. Pee Wee Smith cuts it back inside and finally goes down at the 45-yard line. 40-yard return for Pee Wee Smith.
This resembles Calgary's offense from last year. A thing that they did extremely well was their specialty teams. And Pee Wee Smith is just great doing that. And what he did, it created a short field for Doug Flutie.
And there's Alien, the mascot for the Memphis Mad Dogs. And after the kickoff, Alien storms onto the football field, grabs the kicking tee, and goes back to the sideline. Pretty good show for Alien, the mascot for the Memphis Mad Dogs. Right now, Doug Flutie, 1st and 10 from the 44. They pitch it out to Tony Stewart. Has a bunch of red jerseys in front of him, bounces off tackles, gets close to the 50 before being hauled down. Alex Gordon with the stop.
Gus, I thought we were going to come and watch a football game. All of a sudden, I'm just seeing a dog and pony show so far going on. Horses running up and down the thing, dogs running in at halftime, dogs running in. That dog came up on his own chartered Learjet.
That's right. Calgary Stampeders, their mascot is a horse that runs around the field after touchdowns. And there we see Alien going out on the field after the kickoff. 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6, tipped. Incomplete, intended for Sapunjas. Had Berry there defensively. And Rodney Harding as well. Looks like he got a big paw in the football.
Sean Daniels getting into it with Rodney Harding and also Tim Cofield. Flag went down on the play. Let's listen to the call.
Major foul. Unnecessary roughness. Memphis, number 55, 1st down Calgary.
So that's Tim Cofield with the unnecessary roughing call. He's a veteran now. You wonder what's happening on that line of scrimmage. You've been there before.
Well, when they talk about it and you hear the cliches about it being a war zone, it is. There's a lot of physical contact and there's a lot of meat hitting one another. And when you got that coupled by the fact you got some guys out there that got some serious attitudes, it's going to get physical. And that's exactly what's taking place right now.
1st down from the 47. Here's Flutie going up top for Vaughn, and he overthrows him. Don Smith running stride for stride with rookie Terry Vaughn, as well as Don Odegaard.
Don Smith, great cornerback, came over from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, signed as a free agent with the Memphis Mad Dogs. 6 picks last year. He's out of Liberty University.
Second and 10 for Flutie. 3 receivers to the near side. Flutie, pressure, steps up in the pocket, gets it off, and somehow completes the pass to Alan Pitts, but he won't pick up many. 1, possibly 2. And Doug Flutie, frustration setting in a little bit.
You can see that's a look that we're not familiar with up here in Canada, that gets to see a lot of Doug Flutie, to see him look frustrated. Rodney Harding coming in, Greg Battle coming in. The ball's thrown, almost picked off. But Alan Pitts does an excellent job of coming back toward the ball, but does not pick up the 1st down. Leaves it 3rd and quite long, about 6 yards.
Brings on the field goal unit for Calgary. Mark McLaughlin, 3 for 3 so far. Longest of 47. This will be a 48-yard attempt. Ball sitting on the right hash mark.
Mark McLaughlin attempts another 49-yard field goal.
And it's good. McLaughlin barely gets that one over the bar, but he nails it, and Calgary goes on top 20-14. Their kicking game so far has been keeping them in this one, and with 12:36 remaining, it's 20-14 Calgary. And we're here in Calgary, 20-14 your score, 12 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play, and Mark McLaughlin nailed a 48-yard field goal, and he's been keeping the offense going so far. Doug Flutie, no frustration setting in for him on the sidelines, and he's talking to his people. And what has Memphis been doing to confuse him?
I think one thing that they've done is, since that front four and front seven kind of linebackers have been getting some heat on Doug Flutie. He's not getting the time that he wants to have to get back there and do the things that he's normally had to do. And when he has had to scramble out of the pocket, this Memphis has got some team speed. They can track him down.
Adrian Smith wrapped up at the 30-yard line. Roger Reinson with the tackle, and Damon Allen steps back onto the football field. 5 of 16, 88 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Not glaring numbers, but he's done a good job keeping his team in this ball game. And in the CFL, as long as it's close, there's a possibility to pull out a win.
Even when it's not close. I've seen guys come back from 20 and 25 and 30 points down in the fourth quarter and make a lot of things happen. This is a fast game. You got to keep up with the pace.
Allen to the near side, complete to Horn. Horn, nice play. Horn at the 50, shaking and baking, and gets out of bounds inside Calgary territory at about the 54-yard line.
This will be the kind of thing, Gus, that'll really infuriate the head coach, Wally Bono, who works with the linebackers and the secondary. Poor tackling. Look at this here. That's Medlock that misses one, then allows him to step up a couple of steps again. Kenton Leonard pushes him out of bounds right at the last minute. But Joe Horn is having just an excellent game for his first appearance in a regular season game.
4 reception, 101 yards, 27-yard gain there, and he picks up his 5th reception. Out of bounds at the 45.
Wrestled out of bounds by Marvin Coleman.
Marvin Coleman there on the stop, and Joe Horn spent some time in the Baltimore CFL's camp before coming here to Memphis.
Nothing fancy, but Damon knows how to slow this big rush by the Calgary defense. Quick hitch pass. Good concentration by Joe Horn. Looks the ball in. Fights for a couple extra yards. Makes it second and very short.
Gain of 8. Here's Perkins picking up the first down. Tackled by Will Johnson and Alondra Johnson.
Bruce Perkins was a back that I first saw when he was with the Hamilton Tiger Cats in '93, also in '94. Big back, 6'2½", about 235, 28 years old, out of Arizona State. Carried the mail a lot of times in Hamilton in '93, 173 times for 812 yards.
1st and 10 Memphis at the Calgary 38.
1st and 10 from the 38. Allen, complete. This is Morris, and Morris gets to the 25, make it the 26-yard line, picks up the first down. Danny, how big of a win would it be for Memphis, and how big of a loss would this be for Calgary?
It is just insurmountable what to think it could happen. I mean, this is not. I mean, anything can happen in the CFL, and anything can happen in a given day. But to have an expansion team, even with a bunch of veterans like Memphis has, to come in here and beat a team of the quality of the Calgary Stampeders, and that's going out on a limb to say that right away. It's a little bit unheard of, but it would be devastating to the Calgary Stampeders.
Kenny Walker makes the tackle. Walker, the second-year CFL player out of Nebraska. An All-American, an All-Big 8 selection, an All-Academic player at Nebraska. Played a few seasons with the Denver Broncos. No gain on the play.
Terrific job by Kenny Walker, and you know that the story behind him. He has been totally deaf since 2 years old by spinal meningitis.
9 yards to go.
Calgary Stampeders trying to extend their 23-game home winning streak. They went 9-0 at home last year. Damon Allen surging ahead, gets 9 yards.
Here's the kind of thing that Damon does best. Not that he really wants the ball, but he has the great athleticism to be able to run the ball. But you run it when you have to keep the ball, keep the possession, make a first down, then come back. I'm tremendously impressed by the patience that Damon Allen and this offense is showing right now under the pressure of a very tough Calgary defense.
Field goal unit in now, Chris Gardner. Setting his tee down at the 26, and in the Canadian Football League, they are allowed to use the kicking tees instead of having to kick it off the ground. This is a 26-yard field goal attempt. And it's good.
And the 26-yarder is good.
9 minutes and 1 second remaining in the third quarter, and Mad Dogs have pulled to within 3. They trailed 20-17. 21-17, 4:30 remaining in the third quarter. Calgary Stampeders a little surprised at how well this Memphis team is doing today. As a matter of fact, we're a little surprised also.
Plus, you'd mentioned earlier about Doug Flutie and some of the adjustments that he has made. And one of the things with talking with John Huffnagel, again, the offensive coordinator, I said, what about Doug Flutie? What is one of the assets that he's gotten better at? And he says he's gotten better at recognizing things quicker and reacting to them. And there's the John Huffnagel there. And as we talked about earlier, the things that Doug Flutie is, he's a great athlete, but he has gotten to be a better athlete because Wally Bono and this coaching staff has surrounded him by better athletes. And when you're around better athletes, you just rise up to different levels.
Talked to Doug Flutie before the game, and in college he weighed 175 pounds. He's lost 3 pounds, and remember, he came out of school in 1984-85. And last year during training camp, they clocked him at a 4.39 40-yard dash. So this guy's 32 years old and still in impeccable shape. Tony Stewart catching the ball out of the backfield there.
Oh, wait a minute. Talking about that 4.39, didn't you have a big fight with a guy named Mike Mayock about that on the air?
Well, Doug Flutie and myself, we're going to have to get on Mr. Mike Mayock. I hope he's listening to this game. Mike, yes, Doug Flutie did run a 4.3 last year as he argued me down on national television.
Wake up, Philadelphia, Mike Mayock.
And here's Flutie underneath again, complete to Alan Pitts.
Number 18, Alan Pitts on the receiving
Pitts
end.
tackled by Junior Robinson.
Junior Robinson.
Doug Flutie a little upset right here. He wants a good spot as Alan Pitts was coming back toward the ball. And the ball is spotted about 2 yards short, so it'll be 3rd and 2.
Gain of 8, and they're going to have to send the punting unit on. Doug Flutie not happy. But on the other sideline, Pepper Rogers, you can tell that he's familiar with coaching professional football and college football because he has his team ready to play mentally, and he's gotten some very talented players on this team. So here's Martino, ready to send it away again at his own 10. High spiraling punt, fielded by Eddie Brown. Here's Brown trying to bounce it outside, but gets dragged down. Biggs with the tackle. 5-yard return, 40-yard punt.
Taking a look at Doug Flutie on the sideline, walking around. He's talking to Alan Pitts, seeing if they can get their communication straight.
Play action, up top, wide open receiver. Orlando McKay was wide open, but Damon Allen could not put the ball on it. A broken coverage in the secondary for Calgary.
Collision provided by number 38, Gerald Vaughn.
Gerald Vaughn, the closest man of the football.
Damon Allen had McKay going down the sideline, and right at the end, Gerald Vaughn says, "Hello, welcome to the CFL," and he takes a little shot at him. Ball's uncatchable, so they're not going to call pass interference.
And the numbers for Allen, 8 of 21, 134 yards, 1 TD. You expect better numbers?
I expect better numbers by Damon Allen, but when you take a look at it and you look at the scoreboard, they're still in this game.
And he gets crunched. Damon Allen goes down. A huge hit by Marvin Big Daddy Pope. Jars the ball loose, and he picks up his first sack of the year. And Memphis will have to turn the ball over on downs. A 9-yard loss.
And when that kind of play happens, you can understand how happy and excited Coach Wally Buono is in the defense when they moved him from the middle to the outside. Said, I want to get him involved in the rushing game. And when you can, a lot of times, an outside linebacker, the responsibility is the back on that side to block him. Will Johnson comes from this side, and Big Daddy Marvin Pope comes from the backside, completely untouched, and just laces Damon Allen.
Last year, Calgary had 58 defensive sacks, which was #1 in the Canadian Football League. And as a matter of fact, in 14 out of 17 categories, the Stampeder defense was #1. Here's Smith trying to get outside, but he gets tripped up. Don Smith with the tackle. Good special teams play. 8-yard return, 45-yard punt.
This is the kind of thing you see down here also. Don Smith, number 19, he's the starter at corner. You don't have the luxury of having just the guys that play special teams up here. If you're a starter and you're good and you can run and you can tackle and you've got the basics, you got to play just about every special team.
Marvin Pope, an NAIA All-American for Billy Joe at Central State, had 67 tackles, second on the team last year, 7 sacks. First down. Not a lot of room for Stewart. Alex Gordon grabbing his ankle. Gain of 5. We'll make it 4. Second down. Stewart so far 56 rushes. 11 rushes, 56 yards. Moody to the near side, complete, and out of bounds. Alan Pitts works on Eddie Berry.
Combination, just pitch and catch. This is just like going to the park for Doug Flutie. And Alan Pitts comes off the line, makes the quick out, gets a little separation away from Ed Berry, and Doug Flutie sprints out behind the tackle and lays the ball out in front. Soft hands as Alan Pitt has. He doesn't miss many of those.
First down from the 46. Flutie buying time underneath to Stewart, looking for a block, and Stewart is tripped up. Great defensive play by Don Smith, rather by Adrian Smith, to keep Tony Stewart from getting outside, because he had a whole lot of running room in front of him if Adrian Smith doesn't make that tackle.
Adrian did a great job. All he did was come down, break down, and then all he wanted to do was grab a piece of cloth, and when he did, that was enough to get Tony Stewart on the ground.
Second and 5 from the Calgary 51. To Stewart at midfield. Stewart has a first down and some. Gets inside the 50 at the 47. Smith with the tackle again. Good read by Doug Flutie.
Excellent read that time. Greg Battle, the middle linebacker, slid out of the middle over to the right hand, the wide side of the field. Came off the corner. Doug Flutie read it to high. All Tony Stewart's got to do is release outside. He knows he's going to get a one-on-one coverage. Doug Flutie got him the ball, picked up the first down.
This will be the last play of the third quarter. Clock has expired, but it cannot expire without a play. Flutie straight up the middle on the quarterback draw. He gets close to the first down, and it looks like he will get the first down. So at the end of the third quarter of play, your score is Calgary 21 on top of Memphis 17, but the Stampeders are knocking on the door once again, and we'll have the fourth quarter right after this. Sunset here in Calgary, and the Stampeders lead Memphis 21-17. What a beautiful part of the country, Calgary. The Olympics were played here.
Site of the 1988 Olympics were held right in this stadium here at the opening closing ceremonies here. The Rocky Mountains in Banff, just about an hour's drive.
Inside handoff to Tony Stewart. He's wrapped up at the 35-yard line. Flags on the play. Alex Gordon with the tackle.
Gus, I think this has been the first flag we've seen in quite a while, and I'd like to say it's been other than initially right in that first quarter, a very well played, well refereed game, and you're seeing some pretty good discipline from two teams.
Holding, Calgary 69. First down repeated.
Bobby Pandelides with the holding penalty, and last year Calgary only 152 penalties against them, which was the fewest in the Canadian Football League.
That's just a great compliment to Wally Bono, the coach. He really does stress discipline. Get in there, do your job. If you can't do it correctly, don't grab somebody, don't push somebody, don't trip somebody. Just line it up and we'll do it again the right way the next time.
First and a long 20. Underneath, complete. Nice catch by Pitts. Caught that ball with his hands. And the big, tall, rangy receiver picks up his 9th catch of the game.
This is a play that starts off with authority completely. Gives a little out move, slides back inside on Ed Berry. The key to this thing, Ed Berry closed quite quickly on it, but Doug Flutie, you can see the effort that he put on this ball. He just launched it and threw it out there like a frozen rope.
Gain of 17. Second down and 3. Flutie, naked bootleg, finds Alan Pitts, picks up the first down. Nice play.
Number 18, Alan Pitts.
Alan Pitts just a quick out, but it looked like a bit of a blown coverage on the outside between the halfback Ed Berry and Adrian Smith.
Alan Pitts, 10 receptions, 99 yards. And it's kind of been a quiet 10 receptions, 99 yards for him.
Last year, again, he's used to this. He had 11 100-yard plus games in the CFL in 1994. And he just quietly goes along, picks up yardage.
From the 20-yard line, Pee-wee Smith pushed out of bounds.
The gain is negligible, pushed out by number 12.
Barely a gain of 1 yard. Brings up second down and 9. Doug Flutie, looking at his arms, he looks like he spent a little bit more time in the weight room this year. Got a little vascularity out there and buffed up a little.
That's it. You know, at 171, 172, yeah, it's that drummer thing. You got to have big arms in there because you wear those tank tops.
Over the middle again, and Vince Danielson, the second-year player, with the reception out of the University of British Columbia. Had 21 receptions last year in spot duty and got a lot of time on the field after David Sapunjas went down, and he filled in nicely for Sponge.
As Doug Flutie said about Danielson, that he has now become a veteran from his experiences last year in the regular season and also in the playoffs. And Doug Flutie has no problem having confidence of going to this young receiver. He's tall, 6'4", 210 pounds. Vinny, he caught 22 balls for 274 yards last year. Just an excellent receiver.
Numbers getting better now for Doug Flutie. 26 of 39, 218 yards, and 1 touchdown. Still a lot of time remaining in this fourth quarter. Third down and short. And Flutie goes straight ahead. Looks like he'll pick up the first once again. Rodney Harding there, along with Mike Armstrong. 32 years old, the 1984 Heisman Trophy winner, Doug Flutie. And Pepper Rogers is also familiar with him, facing Flutie in the USFL, and must make you feel good if you're Wally Buono and John Huffnagel to have a guy like that playing quarterback for you.
You know that commercial about the soft drinks on the thing that talks about job security?
Sapunjas, touchdown Calgary! And there is a flag on the play. Looks like it'll be offensive pass interference.
Exactly, Gus. Great call on that play.
The side judge, Jack Lyman, right on the call, right on the play.
Junior Robinson and the Sponge, Dave Sapunjas, number 25, get tied up.
Offensive forward pass interference, Calgary, number 25. It will be first down repeated.
David Sapunjas, 6'1", 187, used his strength and body here.
Quick slant by the outside and out and up. They get tangled up a bit. And Sapunjas at the last minute, you can see his right hand's just on the shoulder pad of Junior Thurman. I don't see a lot of contact in there, and I don't see how it is. But Junior Robinson, I should say. And then at this time, the play was made, the flag was thrown, pass interference offensively.
Here's Stewart trying to cut it inside, and he finally goes down. Don Odegaard with the stop. He's at the 12-yard line, so there's a big decision. Second down. Goal to goal. What do you do?
Well, your field goal is going to give you a one touchdown lead, but at this point, if you don't, if you get the one touchdown, Memphis could have the chance to score and go for two and get 1 point ahead. So if you're Doug Flutie, you got that kind of confidence, go for it.
Second and 12. No flags. Flutie throwing into the end zone. Incomplete. Ball just short of Pee Wee Smith.
Very close, very catchable pass by Pee Wee Smith.
Ed Berry there defensively. Now what do you do?
Well,
come on, defensive captain. Let's hear it from you here.
As a defense, I said up there, we've stopped them for 2 downs. I think we're pretty confident about this. I think we can stop them again. But there's a lot of time left. There's 10:53 on this one. John Huffnagel knows that. He says, yeah, we should have had that play. We could have been wide open back there. But when we get this and we've worked this hard, let's get down there. Let's get the 3 points, be happy, have a touchdown lead. There's still plenty of time, 10:53.
And as well as Mark McLaughlin has been playing today, 4 for 4 with a long of 49 yards. I guess it would be to their best interest to go ahead and let him come in and attempt the 19-yard field goal. Chip shot for McLaughlin, and it's good. 10 minutes, 34 seconds remaining in the fourth and final quarter of the first game of the year for both these teams, and the Stamps take a 24-17 lead. Ten for 25 for Damon Allen. Numbers getting better, and his team down 24-17 with 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Short of the first down. Rather, he picked up the first down. First and 10 from the 33. Perkins and Anderson in the backfield. Pressure. Allen breaks out of the pocket, has running room, looking for a block, and he slides down at the 35. 2-yard pickup running laterally. Alondra Johnson and Kim Phillips there defensively for Calgary.
Alondra Johnson, the leader on this defense out there, leads by example. Plus, he's very boisterous out there.
Second down and 8.
Wants to talk to people, let him know he's around, and when he gets there, he makes people pay.
Big play here for Memphis. Allen finds Joe Horn. He picks up the first down and gets close to the 50. Alondra Johnson with the tackle.
I've been very impressed with Joe Horn in his patterns and also his concentration on looking the ball in. Tough catch on the curl route. Brings it back to Damon Allen. Damon's getting some heat, looking to Horn all the way. Comes back to the ball, then makes a good quick move. Knee hits the ground, and Alondra Johnson is there to clean up.
First down. Anderson. Will Johnson there to wrap him up along with Matt Finley. Second down and 8.
Big call of the ball game right now to try to keep this drive alive for Memphis.
Here's Allen going underneath, and it's knocked away at the last moment. Kitten Leonard, but there is a flag on the play.
There was some contact while the ball was in the air before Eddie Brown made his cut. Let's see if it's going to be offensive or defensive pass interference.
And it's interference against Calgary.
Illegal contact on an eligible receiver. Calgary, number 30, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Coming down the field, Kenton Leonard. He's got his hand on the back. Eddie Brown's trying to come back toward the ball. Incidental kind of contact. You got to see, you're going to hit that many people, and you're going to get hit that hard getting in and off a bus sometimes. But they did call it, kept the drive alive for Memphis.
And Pepper Johnson's team keeps rolling down the field. Pepper Rogers' team, excuse me, keeps rolling down the field. First and 10 now from the Calgary 53. 24-17 your score. Time taken away here in the fourth quarter. Damon Allen, proven winner in this league.
Has to be prepared to go underneath it. They're not going to, Calgary's not going to give it downtown to him.
And he swings it out. It's incomplete. Threw it a little bit behind Gary Anderson. Brings up second and 10.
Fired away by number 30, Kenton Leonard.
It's a very hard pass to complete. Once that back gets out there and all of a sudden turns his shoulder and has to turn all the way around and then kind of starts backpedaling away from the ball. Damon Allen, if he's going to make that pass to him, get it to him quicker. Get it to him while he's going up the field. Give it to him while his speed and his momentum's going up the field. Then he can catch the ball, make a couple of moves on the defensive back, and maybe pick up a big gain.
Second and 10 from Memphis at the Calgary 53.
Second and 10 from the 53.
Halfback blitz.
Allen downfield, has it complete. First down for Memphis. Another good catch, this time by Brad Breedlove, a rookie out of Duke. 2:54 left. Stay with us. We've got a good one. Memphis wanted to have a respectable performance in their first game, but they've done that and more. They still have a chance to win this game.
Halfback blitz. Damon Allen's coming. He's going to see the ball, and he sees the blitz coming. Kenton Leonard comes inside. That allows Damon to break containment, get outside, throws the ball back against the grain of his body. Makes an excellent catch. Is Brad Breedlove, the rookie, as Gus said, out of Duke University. This guy's an all-AC academic honor roll guy. Tell you what, smart. Now you want to go out there and catch the football and get hit? Coming out of Duke, you could be like a lawyer or a doctor, you know, something like that.
Okay. So what's going through Pepper Rogers' mind right now?
You know what made me think? He said, first of all, my cup's empty. Secondly, he said, now what am I going to do if we do score? We came here to win this football game. Do I go for 2 points?
2:44. First and 10 from the Calgary 36. Quarterback draw. Allen ducks underneath and is down at the 50. Kenny Walker with the stop.
Good play, good call this time. What he does, he's going to make that defense have to pay attention to him and to respect him. That defense can't turn and pick up guys on coverage or turn and try to chase down the rush guy. They're going to have to worry about Damon Allen. So if they get him worried about him, it's going to buy more open area behind the linebackers and in front of the secondary guys that hopefully he's going to be able to complete a pass for 6 yards and keep this drive alive.
Picks up 6, second and 4. 2:22 left. Straight drop back for Allen, throws underneath, incomplete. Intended for Eddie Brown. Looked like a little bit of contact there before the ball was thrown on Kenton Leonard.
Well, you got Eddie Brown coming under. You also got Brad Breedlove coming over under at the same time. You got 2 receivers in the same area. So when those receivers come in there, they're bringing a lot of defensive people with them. So you got a big crowd, and Damon Allen had to throw it in the middle of it.
Third down and 5 now, and the field goal team comes on for Memphis with 2:16 left, trailing 24-17. What do you think about this decision to kick the field goal and not go for it?
There's a lot of time left. I still question just to the fact that Doug Flutie has had such good success. When he keeps his drives, he has eaten off a lot of time on the clock. So for Doug to eat off 2 minutes off the clock, it may not be too hard.
This one wide to the left. And Calgary will give up the 1 point as Marvin Coleman downs the ball in the end zone. Chris Gardner unable to come through with the 37-yarder, but they do pick up 1. So it's 24 to
It's the same thing.
18 now.
They're still in the same state that they would be had they made the field goal. You can see the reaction there. That 3 points would have made it 24 to 20. You still got to get a major score. Okay, a field goal is not going to help you. So in this case, the big pressure now is that defense has got to go out there, hopefully stop Doug Flutie 2 plays and out, force him to punt, and then Damon Allen still has to get the major score to hopefully win the football game by 1 point.
Big series for the Memphis defense. To the far side, complete to Vaughn, and Vaughn is thrown out of bounds by Bobby Dawson.
Number 2, Terry Vaughn makes the catch.
Gain of 6.
Bobby Dawson, number 27.
Vaughn, the first-year player out of Arizona, has had a very good game today. 1:58 left. Brings up 2nd down and 4.
Don't be surprised if Doug Flutie doesn't take it on himself again right now.
Flutie, play action, has a receiver complete inside Memphis territory. That's Alan Pitts. Beautiful play fake by Doug Flutie, and he put it right on the money to his all-star receiver, and a gain of 15. Bobby Dawson with the tackle.
One of the plays that you're going to see that the Memphis Mad Dogs will use a lot, called the Sally Ran or the naked bootleg. He comes out there, feels the heat by Tim Cofield. Alan Pitts, with all that experience, goes down there, finds the open area in front of Bobby Dawson, and then Doug Flutie just lays the ball out there on the money. Alan Pitts with the sure hands, 11 receptions, 114 yards, makes the catch to keep the drive alive for the Calgary Stampeders.
Clock working against Memphis now. 1:18 left. They keep it on the ground. Stewart with room. And he's tackled inside the 45, making the 44-yard line. Gain of 9 for Tony Stewart. Timeouts remaining. As we told you, each team is allowed 1 timeout per half, and they're only allowed to take that timeout within the last 3 minutes. 3 minutes of the ball game. 59 seconds left. Flutie straight ahead, and he picks up the first. 50 seconds remaining. Pepper Rogers, his first year coaching here in the Canadian Football League, will probably rethink that decision on not going for it with
Hey, man, a guy that's got the kind of experience as Pepper Rogers, you may not ever want to second guess him. That would be the same kind of call you could make in any league at any time of what you had to do. But I think right now, when they walk out of McMahon Stadium tonight, they can hold their heads up extremely high because they gave the Calgary Stampeders all they could ask for tonight.
Big hit in the backfield. And that's Alex Gordon wrapping up Tony Stewart.
Alex Gordon, number 58 on the tackle.
28 seconds left. The clock will stop now. And the timeout's been called by the Memphis Mad Dogs. But you can see how Alex Gordon gets great penetration, perfect textbook tackling, gets the arms up, puts the head in the chest and drives those legs down and puts Tony Stewart on his back.
Positive outings for both teams. Pepper Rogers in his first game coaching in the Canadian Football League. Very respectable showing. His team down 24-18 and will likely pick up their first loss of the season, barring a miracle. Meanwhile, Wally Buono, after finishing 15-3 and a very disappointing Western Conference final loss to BC, he starts the season off on a positive note as expected. Here's Flutie trying to string things out and buy some time. Loses 4 yards there.
Now the clock will stop at this time. 24 seconds left to go. They spot the ball. Everybody gets back on side. And then the time will be blown in.
So when you look at this game and the way they played, is this almost like a win for the Mad Dogs?
Well, I think in a sense that they can take certainly a lot of positive things from this game. They weren't blown out of this contest like a lot of people had probably speculated they would. At some sense, Bono on the other side has got to look and say, this wasn't a pretty victory by any means. We're very fortunate to probably have won this game, and on this kind of film, these are the kind of games that you can have that you can learn a lot from. First of all, you can look at yourself and see, did you do everything that you could possibly do as a player to play 100% out there and give the best effort? There's going to be a lot of changes as far as, you know, the techniques and things that happen, but all in all, been a very entertaining football game.
And the road doesn't get easier for the Mad Dogs. They'll take on the Grey Cup champion BC Lions Friday, July 7th.
Time count violation.
In Memphis.
Calgary, number 11.
And a lot of changes have taken place during the offseason with BC, and new quarterback, old star going to Toronto. And
Ken Austin left and leaving, traded from BC to Toronto. The backup quarterback and the hero of last year's Grey Cup, Danny McManus, now given the reins, and he's running the show for the BC Lions.
So what do you do, Danny? Do you punt the ball in this situation, or do you just sit on it? Or?
But I think Martino takes the snap back there. It's only 4 seconds to go. All he has to do is run around, take a knee, get touched, and then the game's over. And the best thing what they're going to do, they're taking the punt team off. They're putting the offense back on there. They'll probably put Doug Flutie in the shotgun and let him do, because that's what he does best. Run around, scramble, and if Doug Flutie can't kill 4 seconds, we got problems.
Pepper Rogers still coaching, despite his team trailing 24-18. And here's Flutie. Still running the football, and the game is over. Flutie headed for the sidelines, and he got down. And big Alex Gordon gave chase, and Wally Wano and the Calgary Stampeders extend their home winning streak to 24 straight games. They were 9-0 last season, and they begin the 1995 campaign with a win here at McMahon Stadium, 24-18, the final.
And don't forget about the fifth quarter phone-in.
And with that, David Allen is the CFL's all-time leading passer.
Basaglia's kick is up. It's good.
What a catch! Eddie Brown! Touchdown, Edmonton! And Mike Pringle, he's the all-time leading CFL rushing leader.
Tucker. He got it. Touchdown.
Gabriel is open